Hey there, good morning. I'm John. Today is Monday, August 4th, 2025, and this is my daily vlog, my regular morning ritual stand-up. Each morning I start here in the studio talking to you about what I've been doing next, and how it's going. As we work to making content creation indefinitely sustainable. So, Monday is often a super busy day to report things to you. However, coming off of the special testing task that I had last week, we didn't have a stacked weekend. We did have the news that George did, but I didn't have the Friday plays and I didn't have a Saturday feature and those things. So, and the stats reflect what we did last week, but the stats are a mixed bag, which we'll talk about in a second. We'll show you what I mean when we get there. But first, let's rewind and talk about Friday. So Friday was really a recovery day. I had hoped to get a long form out on Friday, and I didn't. I prepped for it, but didn't get to it. Just so many little tasks had piled up. I stacked the schedule for this week and did some research for several videos. I chose a Friday plays and started getting ready for that. We did the podcast writing, a little bit of writing I said I had to do in research on Friday, and then the guys and I got together and recorded the next 2 episodes of the podcast, which we'll edit together next couple of Tuesdays and come out of the next couple of Thursdays. I created some more short content out of some of those Blaze Super Pockets. We had I finished up what was left of Data East, started up the Neo Geos. They start this morning. And then of course on Sunday, George's new Bit by Bit did about 1,100 views since it dropped just yesterday morning, so not even 24 hours on that. So you can never be sure whether it's the weekend or the midweek that's going to do better. This time looks like the weekend did better and still growing, so still doing well. Talking a lot about Mortal Kombat and some other upcoming features and content in his news segment. And then I had the weekend where I did almost nothing. I played a lot of Shadow Labyrinth and are really getting into that, which I think is probably going to be my live on Tuesday. But let's talk about the stats and why I said they're kind of a mixed bag. So oh good, I don't know if you can hear that, the lawn's being mowed right outside the window here. Mixed bag in that the stats are low. In fact, the views are below our target. However, the fact is, despite putting out very little content, we had news items and less than half the content we normally put out last week. The stats are still sitting around 10,000 or more on average. In fact, a little uptick on Sunday, of course, because we had news. So let me show you the stats. We like to be at or above this midpoint, which represents 13,000 views and 150 subscribers average over the last 7 days. And the views are down 11.4 thousand views, so we dipped below our target. Subscribers have been down and they're settling in 161 subscribers average over the last 7 days. So you see just above our target there, while we had been way off the top of the target. So we're moving some advertising around to see if that helps, and also we'll get back into the swing of things and put out way more content this week compared to last week. So we should see all that improve, knock on wood, hopefully this week. And then, I didn't even look. Oh, I forgot to look at the total. When we looked on the subscriber count, I normally have that ready. We talked on Friday, it was like 115, 150, and now it's 115 something, 600 or 700. I don't know. It's over my shoulder. Whatever it is. So it was a gain of several, 400 or 500 at least. Which, it's funny. 500 gain over the weekend used to be, wow, can you believe it? And now it's like, only 500 over the weekend because we had so many great weekends. But still, not ungrateful. Just interesting how the stats have dipped coincidentally, along with the special project last week. Which again, great for our bank balance, not great for our velocity. So today it's not quite full speed today, but mostly. So this morning at some point I have to cut the new episode of Celebrating Yesteryear for Retro Days and get that delivered as I do each Monday. Even did that last Monday. I have an interruption this morning. I have a dentist appointment, a follow up to where I had the crown and stuff a few weeks ago, just to follow up on that. So I'll pop in there. And then today, thank you, lawnmower. Then today I have I've got to create the update. A long form video update to a review that I had, get that done. It's relatively short production and easy to squeeze into a Monday. I'll get that done. And then we have a team meeting this afternoon and plan. I have several videos that I'd like to get done this week that I want to make sure I get stacked and ready. I start doing graphics for them and things like that. So then at some point today, the revival of King of the Hill dropped today. The season 14, it's been 15 years since one of my favorite shows ever on television was canceled. And now it's like the 14th season. It ended with 13 back in the early 2000s, and now it's back for a couple seasons. The first one dropped today, so I can't wait to watch that. That's this evening. That's not during work today, but it'll be on my brain all day. I'll probably watch one during lunch or something. Oh, I hadn't thought of that. I can watch a couple at lunch. Cool. Before I leave, another Pleep has sent me a photo with that cool original Pleep t-shirt. Take a look at Ted. He opted for the tie-dye version of that. Ted, looking good. I like it on tie-dye. I know he said it was like blasphemy to not get it on purple, but I think the tie-dye looks awesome. It looks great. So thank you for that. That shirt's, of course, in our merch store. You can check it out over there if you want. I really appreciate you, Ted, for picking up one of those and wearing your pride proudly on your chest there. That's awesome. So thank you. All right, let's see what I can get done today. I'm going to get after it. Let me go and thank you for popping in to check out today's vlog, if that's what you did. One of those amazing Pleeps like Ted that's here every day, hanging out with me, getting my day started. I love you for that. Thank you so much for being here. Hope you have a great start to your week and Monday. Don't forget to do something good for yourself because you know you deserve it. I'll talk to you again next day. Bye-bye.